welcome on in, everyone. Happy Sunday morning here, doing something a little bit different. Bear with me. That's maybe the most important thing here. I've never really done something like this. I'm gonna need some feedback on how things sound for the most part, because I'm down in the basement. Usually when I'm streaming, I'm up in my room on my computer. But I got the laptop set up here. Got a camera set up here. I think we'll be in good shape. We're starting the morning off right. We got from the Earthquaker Devices mug here. Let's hold on. Can we focus this a little bit better? Yeah, from Akron, Ohio, baby. We're gonna be talking about Earthquaker a lot today. You're gonna learn a lot about Earthquaker Devices. But yeah, I'm beta pop. Usually I'm playing video games, but if you don't know, I also make music. So if you've ever seen my Be Right Back screen, that was by me, and my ending screen is also by me. If you want to hear more music by me, hold on. Let me get these commands here. You can go to my Bandcamp there. I got a whole bunch of stuff up there, but yeah, this is my big fat pedal board. That is it's a joy to lug around when I do gigs. So I'm a solo musician, so it's so no one help me carry shit when I arrive for a gig. Usually I have some people who are offering to help when I'm done, but yeah, not when I'm getting there. That's for sure. But yeah, I thought as an incentive for Papa Barks, I'd kind of do a deep dive, a little like overview on all of these things, because I have a lot of them, and maybe this is a bit of a humble brag. I don't want to talk myself up too much. I want to be as humble as I can, but people have told me I'm a bit of like a master when it comes to using effects. Now with guitar pedals, so many people just keep adding guitar effects for like the sake of having them, and I feel like, for the most part, I use pretty much every single one of these. There's one I don't really use all that often. We'll talk about it. But for the most part, all of these will get used over the course of like a typical set. So let's see. Let's talk about Papa Barks a bit. I know people have probably, if you tune in often, you probably have already heard the Papa Barks spiel. But you can hear it again. So Papa Barks is a charity benefiting the ALS Association North Carolina chapter. It's a really cool charity that a whole bunch of streamers are doing to raise some money and get rid of ALS, which is a really shitty disease. Pretty much shut down the motor neurons in the body, and eventually leads to death. So right now there's not a cure, but we're working on that. With all the money that we raise, we'll find a cure, kick ALS's ass, and tell it to get the hell out of here. And you can donate. Give a little, give a lot, doesn't matter. You can give $5. If you give at least $5, you get entered into a drawing to win a whole bunch of prizes. So like a Steam Deck, a fursuit, some merch, some art. There's all sorts of cool stuff. I think there's some enamel pins. If you like collecting pins, we got you covered. But yeah, you should donate. My Tiltify link is there. You can pop something in. I have 2 more incentives. So if you like what you see here, when I hit $750, I'm actually going to do like a live music stream. So I'll do like a little bit of a set. This is going to be more like noodling around to kind of show you all of the effects. I don't have my Tiltify banner up just because this is OBS on my laptop. It takes a little bit to set up. And I forgot about that. I forgot to put that up there. So if you make a donation, I appreciate it. I won't really be able to see. I'm going to try to monitor chat as best as I can. I'm probably going to look at my phone pretty often. But yeah, let's try and get into it. I'm going to probably do a few guitar switches too. So yeah, let me I'm also drinking coffee. It's like 11 in the morning. You got to cut me some slack here. Okay, so maybe first things first. That's my guitar I'm using right now. White Telecaster. It's a beauty if you ask me. I like that thing a lot. Let's see. camera work might be, you know, it is what it is. So let's see, what's the best way to get down and dirty here? Let's we might want to move this camera just a little bit, and then maybe let's make the stand a little bit smaller. I think that'll help. I hope everyone is having a good Sunday morning so far. We'll get to some noise making in a bit, but I want to position this in a particular way. Let's do that real quick, because we're just gonna kind of make our way sort of in the chain. So with pedal boards, you want to have a particular effects chain that you follow, and that's kind of where you can get really creative. Like, for example, what a lot of people will do is they will run fuzz into reverb. Also, Sickle, welcome on in. Yeah, we're going to talk about all the effects pedals today. So, at least on the guitar board, there's a whole other second pedal board that I use for my synth. The MXR full bore metal, I don't have one, but I have technically 4 different fuzz and distortion pedals. So we're gonna get some noise going. That's gonna be like the beginning part, because as I was getting into, I was talking about having an effects chain. So I do the traditional sense of running your fuzz into your reverb. When you go reverb into fuzz, you get some pretty cool shit. So the music I make, it lives in the world of like shoegaze, alternative rock, experimental, maybe a little bit of noise rock. It just kind of depends. So I go from, let's see, maybe I did that a little too soon. So I'll just hold it. Okay, so I'll just do the chain overview right now. So there's a volume pedal that goes into the tuner, which then goes into an overdrive. That's the green pedal there. The Westwood by Earthquaker Devices. Then we're going into the Proco Rat. That's pretty legendary pedal. Iconic. I think it's been around since about the 80s. Another Earthquaker Devices pedal, that's the Hoof Reaper. It's like 2 fuzzes in one with an octave that I don't really use often, but I love that thing. It's awesome. They do they do consume electricity. So I got my pedal power supply over there, the Voodoo Labs power supply. That's the classic baby. I also have an MXR power supply there because I have too many, and the Voodoo Labs can't fit them all anymore. So then from the Hoof Reaper, there's the Dispatch Master, which is a delay pedal, a delay and reverb combo. And then from there, I think I'm going into the Tremolo, which is the TC Electronic Pipeline. And then we're going into the Aqueduct from Earthquaker Devices as well. So we have that. Let's see. I just saw this Blue Yeti was going into the red a little bit, but you know, you gotta bear with me here. Yes, so the Aqueduct, that's a vibrato pedal from Earthquaker. And then these are 2 big ones, the big boys. This is the Ecosystem by Empress. This is a delay pedal. There are a bunch of effects on here. Let's see. Let's see here. So yeah, those are all the effects on there. There's a ton. I think we could probably walk through them all. I don't use all of them just because there are so many. And then here's the Empress Reverb. You know, similar deal. Same pedal company. There's a whole bunch of effects there that you can choose from. Again, I don't use all of them just because there are so many. And some I don't really understand. I don't really know what I'm doing with them. So then we go into the Avalanche Run from Earthquaker. That's my Desert Island pedal. We're going to talk about that one probably at length because I love that thing. And then that little thing at the top, it's kind of like an appendix to using the Avalanche Run. I'll show you what I do with that. Then we have this thing called the Super Ego Plus. It's like a synth modular pedal. It's kind of supposed to mimic a synth for your guitar. I use it to kind of create drones and sustaining sounds, so we'll look at that. I got a... Oh, I forgot about my other... There's another reverb down here. The Walrus Audio Fathom. So yes, I have that. I feel like I tend to have that on. They all do the same job in the end. They don't. So with like all the different effects pedals, there are like at least the two that have all those different effects. There's a lot of variation between them. With the reverbs, there's some that I don't know, like I just don't like the sound of. So sometimes like plate reverbs, I'm not really. It depends. Trying to find that sweet spot can be tricky, but we're gonna get into it, and you'll see they definitely are different. It's not just like the same thing 8 or 10 times. Like there's effects upon effects in these things. So all of those little lines you see, there's also different settings within those settings. So you get like 30 something. It's crazy. They're monsters, but they're awesome. So here's the first looper, the Electro Harmonix 1440. That one's fun. I'll show you the stuff I like to do with that. Then I go into the Ditto looper. And then over here is the Shallow Water from Fairfield Circuitry. Very weird pedal. It's kind of like a vibrato thing, but again, we're going to talk about it. So let's set this up here. Let's see if I can get like a good angle on this. All right, let me take a sip of coffee. Gotta have my coffee going here. And yeah, we'll start diving in. So let me grab my guitar here. What? In music, how much pedal do I use? It really depends. So, again, the music I make, it varies from like ambient pieces that are like 15 minutes to more like lo-fi post-rock experimental stuff. I don't want to go full on and say I make like lo-fi hip-hop, because I don't. There's definitely some elements of that. Kind of like lo-fi. You'll get an idea of my kind of style as I play through and just kind of show you stuff. But again, you know, if you want to hear my music, I'll do the socials command again. I have my Bandcamp on there. You can hear all my tunes that I make. I got a few things in the works, but it's been a bit since I like properly recorded some tracks. Like if either of you follow my friend Puffin, I did her closing song. That wasn't specifically made for her. That was just something on like my most recent album. And then I also did some new background music for her Be Right Back screen. So yeah, my style is kind of all over the place. Sometimes I struggle with like, well, how do I define the music I make? But it's easier to say like melodic instrumentals, a bit of experimentation, kind of lo-fi, but yeah. Okay, so first things first. Let me move this mic so people can hear me. We're going to put the volume pedal down. Hope you all like my socks. You're going to be seeing my socks a lot, so we're going to start with the tuner pedal, baby. Yeah, this is like the most important part of the board. I just want to make sure I'm in tune. So I like to play a full step down in standard. I just like getting a little bit of a deeper sound. Sometimes I will play in DADGAD, especially on the Telecaster, because I really like the, it's like a classic emo tuning, and it's a lot of fun. Cool, so we're all in tune, and then we'll just, let's make sure we have everything, good to go here in terms of like this volume sources. Yep, Focusrite is on. So let's just start. No pedals, clean chord. We're going to play one of my favorites. It's technically going to be a G major 7, but I love major 7 chords, so let's go. Yeah. Cool. So there you go. Hopefully you can all hear that well enough. So we're gonna start with the Earthquaker Devices Westwood. So this is an overdrive pedal. Yo, the light is probably not great for you all. Let's see what we can do about that. Maybe if we zoom in a little bit. Yeah, I'm trying to do something about that. There's a lot of lights on these things, so at least the sound is working. All right, let's see. It's that lens flare. It's like a J.J. Abrams movie. Let's see. You know what? Boom. We'll put the pick on it. Oh, here's a question I always get asked. So I have an Altoids tin on here, and a lot of times people are like, "Oh, why? What does the Altoids pedal do?" Well, I'll show you. I put my picks and batteries in there, baby, because you never know. So cool. We solved the light issue. We thought on our feet. That's one thing you learn when you make music, especially when you play live. You learn to roll with the punches and think on your feet. So let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more here, so you can all see like the different effects. So there's a lot of wires around here in my life. Okay, so as you can see, at least I hope you can see, might be a little dark, but it is what it is. It's the best I can do. So there's 4 different settings. So we have level, drive. So level is just like volume. So when I'm playing at home in the basement, I keep it at about noon. That's a nice sweet spot. And then drive is just kind of like your overdrive distortion. So I like to keep it around like 9 most of the time, but obviously if I turn it up, you get more of like kind of like a fuzz. And then what I really like about this this pedal is you have a knob for bass and a knob for treble. So you can turn the treble all the way up and get like this kind of cavernous sound. And then if you add like a little bit of the distortion of that, so yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's go all the way up just to see. So yeah, very, very deep. And then with the Telecaster, if you mess around with the tone knobs, we can get even more low ends. So yeah. And then treble, same thing. So let's go about here. So I'll show you what like everything turned to noon pretty much sounds like this. So that's a good like standard sound. This tends to be like my always on pedal, just because it just gives you a little bit of a boost in the chain, just boosts sound a little bit. Just gonna zoom out a little bit here. But what I really like about this, what if you go full everything except volume? You're not gonna hear anything. So let's put everything up. So it's just gonna be, it essentially mutes the pedal. But it also mutes the whole chain. So like nothing, I just turned on a fuzz pedal, nothing's gonna get through just because you essentially squandered the whole audio signal. You were like, shut up, don't talk. So that's pretty much what that does. So a setting that I really like for the Telecaster, at least, I'm gonna get some more coffee here, is messing around with the treble. So I used to not be a big like high-end guy, but ever since I got this Telecaster, I've learned to love a little bit of high-end. So if I go to like the neck pickup, and just put treble at about like 3, sometimes have drive up a little bit. So I just like it's very like twangy, and I just love that sound. Telecasters are perfect for that. So even if I turn down the bass a little bit more, it just kind of accentuates it. So that's one of my favorite settings. Even if you turn up the drive a little bit, you just get a little bit dirtier. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Westwood. I think at the end I'm gonna do some like pedal combinations, because obviously when it comes to pedals, how you mix and match them, that's also a lot of fun. It's like combining flavors when you're cooking, you know. And I think when it comes to music, I feel this way about pretty much all art. It's really just down to experimentation. If you're like, well, what happens if I turn this pedal on with this pedal? Like, what's that going to sound like? And sometimes you just got to do it to know. So you won't know until you give it a shot. So I think I'm going to switch guitars real quick. I'm going to switch to my Jag, because we're about to enter into the fuzzes. and it's a lot of fun to use the Jag with the fuzzes. So let's give that a shot. Let me walk over there and grab it. Had to adjust the mic at the amp. So sometimes when I record, I go directly into an audio interface, but I find that it sounds better when you mic your amp, just because there's more like natural reverb in the amp, and it just sounds better. All right, so let's see. Let's go to the Rat. So we'll take this. So over here. Well, don't be falling. Okay, so the Rat. The Westwood was technically an overdrive, which, like, you can get super technical about the differences. Do I have any digital versions of these pedals? I do not. So I'm more of an analog person. So I go everything I record except for when I do percussion, like beats and stuff. I'm using a vocal sample. The Korg Volca sample is what it's called. I also have the Korg vocal drum. But in terms of effects, I don't do any like MIDI effects or anything. I just love getting my hands on pedals and messing with them and figuring out like, well, how do these work? What happens if I mess with this? I just think pedal boards look really fucking cool. So it's like wearing a bunch of buttons on your jacket or something. Like, it says a lot about your personality and like what kind of music you make and stuff like that. It's like an extension of yourself, and it's a lot of fun. So let's actually turn this off and tune the Jag first. So yeah, I go pretty much all natural, just straight pedals. There might be a few times when I record where I add a little bit of reverb through like Ableton, but for the most part, everything is done with these pedals. Ooh, jeez. Okay. Cool. How did I start making music? All right, so it's gonna be a bit of a long story. So music's always been part of my life, right? Like my dad has hundreds of records. You know, when I was growing up, he was always playing records, primarily the Beatles. So I grew up on the Beatles. A lot of stuff that like white dads listen to. You know, a lot of classic rock. But every so often there'd be something weird in there. So music has always been part of me. The first instrument I learned to play was alto saxophone in middle school. So it was 6th grade. Started playing alto sax. Played that up until I graduated high school. So I did marching band. I did jazz band. And I want to preface that like I don't know a lot about music theory. So like I think that's something that sometimes people get hung up on, right? They're like, well, you know, I want to learn music, but theory is pretty daunting. Like, what do I do? Theory is hard. Like, music theory doesn't make a lot of sense. It's kind of scary. The circle of fifths and all that, it's like, it's a mess. I wouldn't worry about it. It's just, like, if you know theory, it can take you further. Like, you can't be in an orchestra without knowing theory, right? Like, you got to be an expert when it comes to it. But if you just want to make music, make music. You know, especially when it comes to guitar. So I started learning guitar in beginning of 2017. That's when I got my first guitar, and I'm self-taught. And there's a lot of stuff I could learn, Like there's better guitarists out there than I am. But I play what I want to play. I learned how I wanted to learn. And you know, a lot of times people say, "Oh, you should start on an acoustic guitar." And I say, start on the guitar that you're going to want to play. If you want to play heavy metal, you want to play some fat ass riffs, get a fucking electric guitar. You know, the strings are different between an acoustic and electric. Most amps now have like a headphone jack so you can put headphones in there. But do whatever is going to get you to pick up the instrument. Because if you're not interested in playing an acoustic guitar, you're not going to want to pick it up. And it's going to sit there, and then it gets sold at the yard sale. You know, like, do whatever is going to encourage you to make music, pick up the instrument, and play. That's the most important thing. Like, you want it to be fun. You don't want music to feel like a job or a challenge or like, ugh, like I got to go play guitar now. Because, like, then you're not going to want to do it. And that sucks. Like, you should want to do it. So, yeah, since 2017, I've been playing guitar. I think, like, my first legit album that I made on my own that I think is, like, proper was, like, 2018, maybe 2019, maybe? Yeah, unless you don't want to, you will not play. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, if you're not going to want to pick it up, you're not going to... It's like a video game. You're not going to want to pick up a video game that you don't like. You know? You might buy it on Steam and you're like, I don't like that game. You're not going to keep going back to it because you're like, I'm not having fun. I'm not having a good time. And that's what music's about, having fun. So speaking of fun, we're going to go to the Rat. So this is a classic distortion pedal. This thing's been around since the 80s. Pretty much every alternative band... indie band, even fucking rock bands, like pretty much every band has used this at some point, and it's a beast. It's awesome. So you have 3 different settings here. So distortion, pretty self-explanatory. There's a filter, so if you turn the filter up, it kind of like controls the noise a little bit more. It kind of keeps it, you know, subdued. And then volume's just volume. So for me, this is like my feedback maker. So let's see if I can get some feedback going. I don't know if I have everything loud enough, but usually when let's go all the way up. Fuck it. Oh, there we go. So yeah, there you go. All right, so I'll put the volume pedal down just because that was getting a little intense. So yeah, I like to mess with feedback a lot. Let's make sure I'm in tune. So that helps generate a lot of feedback just because like that filter can get crazy. And the reason I love the Jag is because of the vibrato system that most people would call a whammy bar. It's a lot of fun. I'll show you in a bit the stuff I like to do with it. Besides that, I mean, that's a lot of fun, but let's get back. Cool. So we have distortion up all the way, filters down all the way. Let's go filter like all the way up. So you get like this very deep, distorted sound. I usually like to have it around noon or like less than, because I just like that distorted, feedbacky sound. So that's what the rat is fun for. And then of course we got more of the distortion. So yeah, that's the rat. Pretty much it. You know, it's a lot of fun. Ooh, I think I turned on this delay. You chill out. So when I use a lot of my fuzzes and distortions, I like to use the whammy bar at the same time. You hear that in a lot of like shoegaze music, like bands like My Bloody Valentine. Kevin Shields kind of pioneered that technique. People call it glide guitar. I guess that's technically what it's called. Trying to get back in tune here, just so I can mess it up again. If the rat was made for heavy metal people, you know, I'm not really sure. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it was more for like punk. But could definitely use it for metal. I mean, like punk, metal, and the harsher side of alternative rock, they're all kind of in the same sphere when you get down to it. The point is being loud, and yeah, that's what we like. Just get loud and have a fun time. So let's see. Let's go to the Hoof Reaper here. So this thing is pretty fun. So Earthquaker Devices, baby. They are one of my favorite pedal companies. Like I said at the start of the stream, they're based out of Akron, Ohio. They make a lot of cool stuff. Great company, great customer service. Like if you get a pedal from them, even if you get it used and you're having an issue with it, it breaks down or something, you can send it to them. And more often than not, if they can fix it, they'll fix it for free. Yeah, the point is being loud. That's that's the statement. Like that's what it's about. It's just like making noise. I have always enjoyed music that goes for the unconventional. Like if you can take what are supposed rules of music and art and kind of flip them on its head, because there are no established rules of that stuff. Like art is whatever you want to do with it. So to just come out and be like, yeah, fuck it. Like I'm doing this. I'm going to mess with stuff in the way that I want to mess with stuff. That's the beauty of making music and making anything. That's why AI sucks ass, because AI can't do that. So, yeah. But enough about that. Enough about the soapbox. Let's get to the fuzz. So, this is a lot of fun. So this pedal, it's 3 fuzzes in one. Oh, that light isn't too bad. Sorry, it's 2 fuzzes in one with an octave pedal in the middle. So essentially what Earthquaker did, they took a pedal of theirs called the Hoof, which was a fuzz. They took that, and then they took another pedal of theirs called the Tone Reaper. Sorry, I think it's just what was it? It might have just been like the Reaper. It's hard to find now. But that pedal was essentially a copy of another pedal that was out there that was kind of hard to find, because sometimes these pedals get discontinued. You know, they sales go down in them, the manufacturing costs. There's no point to keep making them because the pedal landscape now there's so many. But they pretty much took those two pedals and said, all right, we're gonna put into one, so you get two. So the setting I have it on right now, well, this setting, or sorry, that was the fuzz. Yes. Okay, so you have tone at the top, so you can go from like a nice deep, like fat fucking fuzz, right? Like it's awesome. And then shift, I don't really know, like I'd have to look up how they define what shift does. What I think it does is like sided between low end and high end. And of course volume, self-explanatory, that's the volume of the pedal. And fuzz is like how much fuzz do you want going on. So let's see. We got fuzz all the way up, tone down. So that's like the fat fuzz there. Let's turn the tone up. It'll be have a bit more bite. Okay, so that's the hoof part of this pedal turned all the way up. I mean, that's essentially just using the hoof pedal that they have. It's really all it is. I use that one more than the Reaper side of it, just because I like fuzz pedals that are like fat and thick. I love a thick fuzz. It sounds great. I want to feel like I'm trudging through molasses. So let me go back to where I usually have it. Well, let's see what shift does. I always kind of forget. Okay, so it kind of makes it like fucked up in a way. All right, that's kind of cool. Zao, the master of pedals at work. Hell yeah. Trudging Through Molasses sounds like a great band name. I agree. Zao, welcome in. You're just in time. We're talking about fuzz now. Well, let's do this octave bit. So this just adds like an octave beneath whatever you're playing. I don't really use it all that often. It's just kind of there. Here's the Reaper side. Oh, I put fuzz all the way down. So that's with the fuzz all the way up, tone all the way down. All I still understand is spin button. Hold on. Spin this button and spin this to 2 and boom, music. I mean, that's pretty much it. It is like messing around until you find something. Like I have friends who have the same pedals that I do, and they get like completely different sounds out of them. It's really cool. Let's turn tone all the way up. Cable's being weird. Come on, pickups. Hold on. What's going on here? It's like the getting weird sounds. It's from it's definitely the pickups. I need to probably need to get the Jag to I should get the Jag checked out. Come on. Alright, there we go, we're back. I actually kind of like that sound. So cool getting to see how these actually work. I love how each knob has a purpose to make the sound a little different. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. Like, there's just so many different things you can do with them. Have you ever played with settings of a pedal so much that you broke it while playing a guitar? No. So, like, what's nice is that this is kind of true for guitars as well. It's hard to fucking break them. Like, if anything, your sound chain is going to get so distorted and, like, fucked up that, like, you're not gonna hear anything. It's just gonna be like pure noise and dirt. which sometimes that's kind of what you want. But I've never like, because of the settings of the pedal, broken a pedal. I've only had like one issue with a pedal, and I think it was just a manufacturing defect, and the company that made it actually sent me another one, so that was cool. Especially because I bought it used, and they sent me a new one, like a brand new one. So that was awesome. um, but I mean, these settings are on there to be on there. I would say the easiest way you could break a pedal is like not giving it enough voltage. Um, so with the Rat that I talked about earlier, that actually runs on a battery, whereas everything else is plugged into a power source. And sometimes what's cool about that pedal is like when the battery is running low, it has a different sound because it's struggling to get more juice to it. It's pretty cool. Doesn't happen often. Every once in a blue moon it happens to me, and it's kind of cool. But I'm gonna do another guitar switch. I'm gonna go back to the telly, just because we're gonna go in to like the delays and the vibratos and yeah. So let me put the Jag back. I also have a Stratocaster that I don't use all that often. That one's just like always in standard tuning. Drink some water here. Okay. Telly. Let's pick you back up. Well, before we do that, let's move the camera to the dispatch master. Can we put you like that so y'all can see? Man, it's a little tricky for me to get over there, at least, because I got so much junk. Alright, let's move this cable down. Zoom in a little bit more. There we go. So don't know what this light's going to be like. Oh, that's not bad. It's pretty good. Okay, so the dispatch master. Let me plug in my guitar. Well, let me fix the mic on the amp. This thing keeps falling. Okay. Get the guitar here. Let's plug it in. Start making some more noise. Alright, so the dispatch master is a delay. The reason I got it is because it does something pretty cool that no other delay besides another one on my board does, in that it has endless repeats without ever oscillating. So what oscillation is when your repeats, you have more delays repeating than delays are like generating. So like if I have a really short delay, like beep 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 beep, and I have the repeats up so much, it's gonna get out of whack. It's gonna get crazy. I might be able to replicate something like that on one of these other delay pedals. But the dispatch master doesn't do that, and that's what I really like, because sometimes it's cool to just kind of have an endless delay going. So let's turn up the mix a little bit. Put the reverb in the middle, repeats all the way up. So like, let's just, I don't know, we'll play a little. So these repeats are basically going to keep going. And I can add a few things in. Zal, I'm glad you're liking it. I did some prep work last night setting up the cameras, but yeah, I also the sound on this Dispatch Master is great. I mean, it's so nice. Let's put reverb all the way up. And then I can change the time, and it'll go like make weird noises. So let's have it. Let's do this. So it's fun to mess with the time on that. But I usually keep the time till its longest, just because I think it sounds best. And I usually keep mix at about noon, because it's fun to kind of have the little delays hidden in there. And repeats all the way up, because that's fun. And if you just let that go, it'll just keep going. So a lot of times in my music, I have another pedal that does something very similar. I will do that and just have like the tails, as you would call it, like the delay tails, just kind of go on forever. It's a lot of fun. For now, we'll stop it. And what's also cool about this is when you turn the pedal off, it just cuts off the signal. So we'll just go, boom, and we're done. So next stop, I believe, is our tremolo. And there's a particular reason I got this tremolo over any other tremolo. Let's zoom out a little bit. Get the focus going. So this tremolo, it has a tap tempo, which is super handy because when you're messing with a whole bunch of delays, it's nice to also tap in the delay that you want. So if you want to do the tap tempo, you just hold this button down, And then, so there are a few settings here. So speed, if I didn't do tap tempo, that would change the rate of the tremolo. So tremolo is just volume level. So this is why the whammy bar, people say it's the tremolo arm. That is not a tremolo arm. That's a vibrato arm, because vibrato is pitch and tremolo is sound. So you have speed, and then depth. So depth is like, how intense do you want the effect? If it's all the way up, well, let me just show you. Instead of saying, when I do some doing. So this is depth all the way down. You don't hear anything. This is it all the way up. So it's perfectly cutting off that sound. Now if you have it a bit in the middle, you still have your main audio signal cutting through. It's at like 50%. Now I'll show you a little combination that I like to do. I go back to the overdrive. I dial in that setting that I like. And then the last pedal on the bottom right, that's like the note division. So if you tap it in, you can select between like, do I want to subdivide into like quarter notes, 18th notes or something? But here's a setting I really like. Dial back the bass a little bit. Look at that nice. So it's got this kind of Western cowboy twangy emo feel to it, and I don't know, it just sounds great. And if we turn that treble all the way up, back on the overdrive. So there you have that one. I mean, tremolo is pretty simple. You can sometimes get some wacky stuff going, like, I don't know, turn it all the way up and see what you get. All right. So, okay, I'm running into an issue where it says my battery is low. So we'll see what happens. I do have a webcam, just in case. I can make a switch. Might not be as pretty, but you know, it is what it is. Like I said, you got to roll with the punches. So here's the vibrato. It's a lot of fun. This has a whole bunch of different settings. Well, camera's falling over there. Let's pop you on there just to help people's eyes. Doesn't hurt them as much. So the vibrato, whole bunch of different settings. I don't know all of them, so I'm probably not going to go through every single one. But let's. Why is there no sound now? Hold on. See, this is the joy of making music. Sometimes your audio just stops for no reason. Let's see. Time to check every pedal. Oh wait, hold up. What is going on? Ay. It's always something, I tell you. You can watch the issues in real time as they happen, as they unfold. See, it's not a... Huh. What is happening? What he said happened, I played too much and they broke down. Maybe. I mean, it's never happened to me before. I think we'll be okay, though. I just got to figure out what happened. I got so many chords over here that I'm just trying to locate all of them. The tremolo was fine, and then that seemed to do me in. Too much tremolo. But this is how music goes, you know? Like, just got to roll with it. All right, let's hopefully this will work. Huh. I feel like there's a cable loose somewhere. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I think I just had a cable loose or something. All right, yeah, let's put this back on. Protect people's eyeballs. You made another cup of coffee and didn't realize you had more creamer? You didn't have any more creamer? That's why you learn to take it black. That's what I do. I don't gotta worry. Okay, so the vibrato pedal. This one's a lot of fun. Hopefully the camera doesn't die on me. If it does, we'll switch to the webcam, which isn't as pretty, but it'll still work. So this is kind of key to my sound. Like I said, this is pitch. But rate, that's how fast you want your vibrato going. So you hear how it kind of, it's almost like a little wave. Depth, again, depth is like how intense do you want that effect to be? So if we turn it all the way up, you're gonna hear. It's like, ooh, it's all wonky. I'm trying to figure out the SpongeBob. That's almost it. It's something like that. Put rate all the way up, and you're gonna get some weird ass shit. It's kind of like an alien. don't think those are the right notes, but it's kind of close. So yeah, you get really weird there. Let's see, there's also a random one. It's literally just called random. So that's very weird. Let's turn like the drive up here. It can kind of sound like a video game. Alright, we'll go back down. Ooh, hold up. Yeah, we're on that Rings of Saturn shit, baby. Let's go. Ooh. That's actually kind of fun. That's the Hatman noise. Hold on. Because I'm curious. Oh, Zao, that's literally a guitar pick sitting there because the the light is a little bright. It's almost like I'm shredding, but I'm not. But yeah, not super practical. It's fun though. So let's drop that back down. Sickle, I would love to help you put together a pedal board. That'd be a blast. But yeah, I usually keep it on the first setting. It's like just classic tremolo. I like it a little subtle. Alright, so we did that one. Let's pop that off. Alright. Oh god. Here are the big delays. Woo! So these might take a little bit. Because there's so many different settings here. I might actually sit down for this. I've kind of been like on my knees and they hurt a little bit. Alright. Let's move the phone down. I might move the mic a little bit closer. Okay. Let's get in position here. Alright, so woo! Sitting cross-legged. Alright, so the ecosystem, this is a very big delay pedal. It's got like a million different effects. There's so many. So, okay, for example, you see how this is flashing? If I hit it again, there's like another setting within this. And then there's another setting. Like, all of these have multiple settings. So you kind of cycle through, like, you see this? There's a million. There are so many. This is the end of it. So, let's just start here. Let's just see what happens. So stutter. Beep boop, beep bop, beep boop. Kind of weird. Trying to mix that feedback up a little. And then you can edit the tone. Ooh! Oh, Lord. Style it back. Thing 1 and thing 2, so this is different for each effect. Let's see what it does on this. Ooh, that might be rate. I don't really know what thing 2 does. It's wild though. Alright, so let's go to the next one. It's another stutter. Kind of sounds pretty similar. This is just a regular analog delay. So I can tap delay there, so that's going to set the delay rate. Let's put the feedback up a bit. I think I could probably show you. So this is what the oscillating is going to be. So you see how it's just getting louder and louder and louder? So it's kind of what oscillating is. I have another analog delay pedal on my other pedal board that it's really fun to mess with that. And I think... let's put tone up. Makes it a bit warmer. I think the pedal is randomly clicking things inside to make those goofy noises. It's what it's actually doing is it just modifies the signal. It's kind of cool. I wish I could give a more technical answer, but I'm not that super technical, so let's put tone all the way down. Yeah, nice and dark. Thing 1's probably modulation. Yeah, that's modulation. Alright, so multi-delay. I feel like it's another I've always kind of struggled to really get a good sound out of. I think that's what you do. I don't use it that much, so let's move on. Modulation, this is just like a modulated delay. So I'll tap in like a slow one. It's kind of like a tremolo. I mean, I don't use every single one of these settings on here, so I've you know, when you have pedals that have these many settings, you kind of settle on the ones that work best for you. So if I'm not really gonna use it as much, I don't worry. It sounds like a tremolo delay almost. I think that's what that is. Filter. I think this one's pretty fun. Let's put that up, thing one. Let's do this. Ooh. Oh, that's a weird sound. So thing two must be rate, and thing one's probably like filter. The actual filter that you're putting on it. Ambient. It's like a swell. Delay and reverb. This is kind of like the Dispatch Master. Reverse. This is fun. Put thing one down, see what this does. So this has like an octave sparkle on it, sounds like. Kind of like that. Here's another stutter. This one's kind of fun. Oh, lo-fi. This is a pretty good one. Alright, Echo, go take care of the dogs. I'm gonna be here making noises. So lo-fi. Oh, how do I think it's like this? There we go. So it just adds like a bit of dirt to your delay. Put thing two down. Ooh, hold on, I like that. Let's put this really low. Is it the same for all pedals, max them all and no noise? I mean, usually if you max everything out, you're gonna get some weird sounds. It's usually kind of the opposite. You turn everything down, you're not gonna get any noise. It's the whole like turn to 11 and it's gonna get really wild. But I actually really like this sound. How happens if I go like this? Yeah, I need to keep this one in mind. Hold on. Indulge me. I mean, you're kind of watching the music making process. Okay, I gotta stop. I could mess with that all day. I love that sound. I really like that. I need to mess with that more. Whiskey, let's see what this is. I mean, that's honestly the music making process. Mess with shit, and you'll find something you like. Alright, so this is kind of like a... It's like a swell. Digital. This is standard delay. Let's switch to red. Let's see. Where's my... okay. Alright, so... battery died on the camera. So let me switch to the webcam. It's not gonna look as pretty, but hey, it is what it is. So bear with me here while I get the camera out of its tripod. RIP camera, we hardly knew ya. I might... Alright. I hope you all like looking at that screen. It shouldn't be going on much longer. How do I get this bitch out of here? Come on. You're almost there. There we go. Alright. Here is the crappy webcam. I am hooking this up right now. Only unfortunate thing is I won't really be able to zoom in. But I can probably like grab it a little bit more. So let's see. What's wild is I had that camera fully charged too, so can probably only get like an hour or so of streaming out of it. But, you know, like I said, I've never really done streams like this before. So, I appreciate you all for bearing with me as I think on my feet and on the fly. So, let's see. Where was that cable at? Let's follow it and figure out which one it's connected to. That's what I thought. And let's plug this bad boy back in. RIP camera, baby. You got me pretty far. I mean, we've been going for about an hour and a half. It takes a while to do all this. Okay. You want to turn on? You want to turn on? see here. Okay, let's resize it. So it's not as pretty, but we'll make do. It's a little bit harder to zoom in. Thank you for showing you all these. Oh, thanks for tuning in, man. It's been fun. It's cool to show people all the doohickeys. Apologize if this doesn't look as good. It's kind of the best I can do right now. But the good thing is we're not gonna run out of power on this. So yeah. So digital delay, that's really self-explanatory. That's just a straightforward delay. Tape. So this delay is so what they used to do back in the day was actually like mess with the tape itself. So this is to this purpose is to mimic that. Let's go like that. Some Twilight Zone shit. And you can see it's kind of like breaking up. Let's put that feedback up, actually. Let's mess with some stuff. Ooh, okay. So thing 2 might be modulation. Thing 1 is like the tape breaking up. Oh, that's it. That's SpongeBob. I'm glad I figured it out at some point. Analog. We looked at one of these earlier. But let's switch to... Does it not let me switch to green? There we are. So, I'll show you. So that's just going to oscillate. It's going to get a little wild. It's coming back. See, this is where the fun with pedals comes in, you know? Multi-delay. Again, this is another one. Hold up. What's going on? Oh no, it's coming back. Shh. Okay. Woo! Let's get a little out of hand there. Soda, welcome in. Oh, the yellow Tortex is the only way to go. That's the only guitar pick anyone should ever be using. When I first started playing guitar, my friend was like, "Oh, get the yellow Tortex," and I've never looked back. I'm just doing a little deep dive in all these weird effects. We're on to the ecosystem by Empress. So there's like a million settings on here. Some of these I don't really use, so I'm like, what does this do again? I'm just covering up the light because it's a little bright. The blue Flu Tortex. No, I've never used that. The blue Flow. If you got pick recommendations, I'm always willing to try something else out. Let's turn the mix up. Okay, hold up. Yeah, I don't use multi all that often. Another mod. I just find that the yellow Tortex is just like kind of perfect for me. I don't know. I haven't used orange either. But I don't know. I might honestly look around more because, as you mentioned, sometimes having that precise picking can be nice. Alright, so I think there's so many settings on here that I might... Let me focus on the ones that I really enjoy using. Because there's so many. Well, reverse is always fun. Ooh. It's got that octave on there. Alright, stutter. Ooh. Woo! That was wild. Back to the lo-fi. Oh, if I go all the way down, I get like a little 8-bit sound there. Whiskey is pretty interesting. Alright, so where's my ambient? My particular ambient setting that I always go to. I gotta cycle through all of these. I thought it was at the very end. Let's just go here. Alright, so I think maybe my favorite setting on the Empress is there's a setting for the ambient delay. Come on, turn on, you little bitch. There's a setting for the ambient delay that is really cool, that I absolutely love, because it's like a long delay. There it is. Okay. So this thing is wild because it's a delay up to 8 seconds, and I love it so much. Essentially, what I use it for, it's almost like a loop. I almost use it as a loop without actually looping. So let's turn the feedback up. So feedback, again, that's the repeats. So I like to have it as long as it can be, and we'll just kind of go. So you can hear it in the back there. So I love this because I love just having this go. And if I turn it off, it'll still keep going. So it's awesome. It's nice to just add in like little sprinkles and just have it go on forever. That's my favorite setting to use on this pedal, and honestly the one I use it the most for. But I don't know, when I came across that filter setting, no, that was the lo-fi setting actually. That lo-fi setting, I really like that. I might have to mess around with that more, because that sounded nice. But we'll leave that one for now. We'll go to the Empress reverb. So again, same company. It works the same way. There's all of these different settings that are just piled on top of each other. Settings. It's like Blade Runner, where it's like settings upon settings upon settings. Cells upon cells upon cells. So let's just start with like the basic hall reverb, you know? Don't always use that one, just because it's almost too much reverb. I know it's kind of funny, because I love reverb, but like, that's a lot of verb. That's a lot of verb for one Liz to have. We can change the mix, of course. Put decay all the way up. So your reverb decay is how long it takes that reverb to kind of die down. Mix is, of course, how loud is it? Is it stronger than your dry signal, which is no reverb, just your regular old sound. Let's see here. The little switch on my pickup is giving me trouble. So that's nice. Room reverb. I use this one a lot. It's kind of like a go-to reverb for me. Even turn the decay up more. And what's also nice is you can adjust your high and low end. So if I want it to be really bright, you know, put the mix up so you can really tell the difference. And then low all the way up, highs all the way down. It's pretty cool. We'll go through plate. I don't use this one as much. Let's put these decays up more. Oh, I have that right about there. That's where it usually is. Yeah, it's the Empress reverb. Everything it does so well. Spring. Again, I don't use spring and plate all that much. But it sounds nice with the, when you have a, like a more trebly sound on your guitar. That's where it comes in handy. So let me go back to the Westwood with that treble sound I like. Here, we'll go full, like, let's turn the tremolo down. Let me put that at like 11. So it gets a particular sound. Alright, let's see. Keep going here. Just another spring verb. A little bit darker though. Sometimes I don't really like a really bright sounding reverb, so I'll have settings that just kind of give me the darker version. I'm you, but stronger, essentially. Again, spring verb. And then room. Let's get to the weird stuff. Sparkle, this is kind of fun. Crunchy Pickles, welcome in. Yeah, we're talking guitar pedals. We're into the reverbs now. Let's go decay all the way up, baby. So that one's like you're ascending to heaven. Pretty cool. Some modulated reverb here. Let's put that decay up. See what kind of sounds we get here. It's doing some weird shit. Let's put those around there. More modded verbiage. I want to show you one that I really like. We got reverse reverb on here. This is pretty cool. Let's do like a chord. So that's a pretty fun one. Ghost gets some interesting stuff. It's a really cool high-endy reverb that I like a lot. Lo-fi. I think that's like Smashing Pumpkins, maybe. So sometimes I'll use this when I want like a little bit of a bite on some stuff. Like that AM radio kind of sounding vibe. And then there's another lo-fi. But I think my favorite setting on this whole pedal is this setting called Beer. It does some weird shit. So, to give you the best idea of what this does, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this long delay. I'm just going to play something kind of like I'm looping it. And then I'm going to mess with the reverb settings on Beer because I do that a lot and it's awesome. Alright, so we have that going. Turn this on. So what I like about this is it's like a lot of times when I end a set, I use this because it's almost like the loop is breaking up. So yeah, I love that combination. I use that a lot because it's just so much fun. You get such odd stuff coming and just messing around with those effects while you kind of have like this little loop going. It's really cool. Turn off. Turn off. All right. So that's kind of it for the. Well, there was one little setting on the Empress that could be fun to show. I think it registers your input. But I don't really use it all that often. So those are the main settings I use there. We're gonna move to another reverb because I don't have enough, right? I don't have enough here. So let's see if I can select. Let's just select this so there's not as many lights covering things up. So this is the Walrus Audio Fathom. A lot of times this is like my go-to reverb just because it's pretty simple. So there's a few different settings on here. I forget what they name all of them. This first one here, this is like the standard reverb. So what I like about this is you can set the modulations. So when you have it oh wow, just bang the microphone. So that was probably a big sound. Let me move my guitar. So I like having the modulation set up there because you get some pretty cool stuff. Let's see. Put the mix up, delay up. So very, very wavy. And the dampen is that like opens up the low pass filter and everything so you can make it darker or lighter. So all the way up is dark, and then all the way down is light. I usually like to keep it somewhere in the middle. I forget what this one does. I don't think I use this one as much, and I kind of forget. Oh, the X is like the pre-delay. Which again, don't use all that often. I like to keep it down here. Let's go to the lo-fi. This is kind of fun. I'll do this one a lot. So with these settings, what they wanted to do was, again, kind of mimic like lo-fi signals, AM radio type sound and stuff. So let's dial decay back a little bit. And then we go all the way this way. And then the last one, this is it's like another shimmer. So it adds this lower octave sparkle. But when you go all the way up, this is when it gets fun. Yeah, so the Altoids container, I covered this a little bit earlier, so if you missed it, I actually keep my picks and batteries in there. So if you open it up, battery, bunch of picks. So it's a nice way to keep that stuff handy because you never know when you're going to need a pick or a battery. So yeah, pretty much all it's for. It's awesome. It's super handy. No worries. It was a quick little thing, so it was easy to miss. So that's really all of the settings I like to use on the Fathom. Typically I keep it on the first program, they call it. That's like my generic reverb. Probably mix at about noon and decay. Around like 1 or 2. Cool. So we'll pop that off for now. Next thing is my Desert Island pedal, the Earthquaker Devices Avalanche Run. So let me grab something that I like to use with this. I don't use it all that much anymore, but let's see. How did I have this set up? I kind of forget. Where's the see. So you can plug in an expression pedal, which I have. I just forget how to do it. Let's see. Man, it's been so long. Oh, there we go. I know now. Okay, so we're gonna plug this in here. Okay, so we're just gonna do like a basic run through of the Avalanche run. So next to my tuner, this pedal has been on my board the longest. Like I said, this is my Desert Island pedal. I love this thing so much. It's basically the upgraded version of the Dispatch Master. So it's it does a lot of the same sounds. Let me zoom in a little bit better. It's just better. So there's a YouTube channel called Knobs, and guy demos a bunch of pedals. This man has cost me so much money. Super awesome YouTube channel. If you're into guitar effects and you wanna see someone who is a lot better at messing with effects than I am. I mean, I'm not awful, but like Knobs gets some really cool sounds out of stuff. His video on the Avalanche run, it was love at first sight. The sounds he was getting out of it, I loved it. I was like, I need to get one. And ever since, I've loved it. So there are three main settings on here. You have a reverse, a standard, delay, and then you have a swell if you go all the way to the right. I have little notes on here because I'm gonna show you can use an expression pedal to do some really cool stuff. And then over here, these are the subdivisions for the delays. And because the text is so tiny, I couldn't really read it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to write it down. And those have been on there for several years. But let's just regular tap tempo. We're going to have the repeats up a little bit. Tone is in the middle. And mix is in the middle. Decay and reverb are also in the middle. So let's mess around a little bit. Let's put pickup in the middle here. Repeats back a little bit. And then if we want to turn the reverb decay all the way up, reverb mix all the way up. So kind of similar to some stuff we heard earlier. I like to keep these in about the middle. You can do some pretty cool stuff with tone. So tone all the way up. I'm going to turn the mix up so you can hear the difference. And then we'll go all the way counterclockwise. So one thing I really love about this pedal is it has a sound on sound mode, so it has these tails. So when you turn it off, you can have the repeats keep going. So let's just dial some stuff in here. Ah, no. That was bad. Let's redo that. That didn't sound good. So we're going to have this repeat set. Now we're going to shut it off. And these are essentially just going to keep going. Which is a lot of fun because you can add stuff on top of it. While the pedal's off, of course. And if I let it go for a real long time, it kind of starts to break down in a really cool way. We're going to go to the reverse setting now. This one is pretty fun. So it's just a reverse delay. And if I turn the mix up a little bit more. Put tone at about noon. Dial repeats back a bit. So that's a blast. That's a lot of fun. And then swells, I kind of forget. I think mix is maybe what. Let's see. I don't use mix as much because I have the volume pedal, so I kind of do my own swells. I think mix controls the time. Oh yes, it does. So I usually keep it on normal. But what I want to show you now is the I'm moving this mic a bit because I'm going to stand up. So there's an expression pedal control feature here. So I have this expression pedal right here, and then this thing that you see above the avalanche run, is the this thing right there, that gray thing with the looks like Saturn on it. So that it allows me to select between different expression pedals, but I got it because sometimes with the expression pedal it can be a little wonky and it would be hard to dial back in like the tempo or something, so it kind of allows me to select the expression pedal when I want to use it. So Let me make sure I have. Let me switch to time here, because that's normally what I use this for. 9, 8, 7. All right, so we're just gonna play a little something. Style a little boost in here. And then I'm gonna switch to the expression pedal. Ooh, wow, this thing is creaking. Hasn't been using it a long time, I guess. Come on, buddy. I thought I had it selected. Let's see. No idea. This one? Which one is it? Oh, there it is. Oh, I gotta turn the bitch on. I kind of forgot how to use this thing. I'm not even gonna lie. Is it just here? Let's see. Oh wait, it's not really plugged in all the way. That's probably why. Yeah, there we go. I got it now. Okay, so I can. So that's a lot of fun to use. You can also do the repeats, which can be kind of fun. So I can just kind of like keep letting it go. Let's make it go faster. So that's pretty handy, kind of fun. Turn that off for now and move this, get this expression pedal out of there. Come on. There we go. We'll just put that back where I had it, where it's not really used all that often. Turn these repeats down. Okay, so we're almost towards the end here. I know this has been going on for almost 3 hours. Oh, we're hitting 2.5. Takes a while. There's a lot of pedals, and I want to be in depth. The next one shouldn't take too long. Super Ego Plus. There at the top. Oh, come on. This is So what I use this for is generating like a lot of drones and stuff. So a lot of my music is done building loops upon each other, and I like having like one steady sound throughout the whole thing. So it's on that setting right now. I'm just gonna turn it on, and then we're gonna hit a string. Let's turn up the effect. So it's just gonna keep sustaining that, and I can add more sounds. There's also this effect thing in the middle, so I can make it do different stuff. So that's a lot of fun. It sounds really cool when you have different reverbs going on it. Let's see, let's pop a regular reverb on, see what we can do. So that's a really fun effect to use. And then I can also just latch it once. So if I was playing something. But I mainly use it to capture the sound as it happens. That's the easiest way to do it. That's the auto mode. So let me move the camera a bit for these the delays, or sorry, the loops. So yeah, as I said, I do a lot of looping. It's kind of how I build most of my music. So let's put this on medium modulation. All right, so let's build a little loop. So that's just going to repeat what I just played. There's also some effects I can do. Like I can reverse it if I want. I can make it go in half speed. I can also just like stop it completely. So I like to have 2 loopers because 2 is always better than 1. So let's add some stuff on top using this other looper. Let's put this back to where it belongs. Get a bit of a different sound on the guitar so you can know which is the new loop. Hold on. I had the reverse setting on there. It's kind of messed up. So it's nice to have two different loops. With the 1440, I can do some pretty cool stuff with it, like change the tempo. I can make it go in reverse if I want to as well. So we're gonna turn that down a little. For the next effect, this is the last one. It'll be nice to have two loops going so I can show you what it does. So the shallow water, pretty cool pedal, very unique. It's almost unyieldy in its own weird way. Pop it on. So there's a few different settings. There's a rate. Damp, I kind of forget what it does. I think it adjusts like the peaks. So it's kind of like a vibrato. So it's gonna like make it sound pretty weird. I'm gonna mess around with it and you'll get an idea. So it makes it sound really glitchy, which I think is pretty cool. Again, it's kind of fun to mess around with that at the end of a set or something. But let's see. Let's do a little bit of a grand finale here and see if we can get a. Can I get a view of all the pedals? One that hold on. Maybe I should move the webcam. It's pretty much the ones we're gonna use here. Let's add more stuff. So there you go. That's pretty much it. Done in about 2.5 hours. So yeah, we'll do another little pullback here. There's all the doohickeys. Got to show you all of them, and for the most part, all working together. So I'm just gonna let this thing drone on. Let's see if we can find somebody else to raid. Yeah, Tilky, thanks for stopping by. I'm glad you sound like you saw something new, which is cool. I love these things, man. They're my babies, you know. It's a lot of money, a lot of research and time built up over several years. So this is it. I'm really happy with what I have at this point. So yeah, let's see if we can find someone else to raid. I wonder, are there other Papa Barks people? I'm sure we got some Papa Barkers out there. Some people barking. Let's see what we can find. Bear with me. I am doing this on my laptop. Let's see. Is someone's about to do some old school RuneScape. Let's see. Are they starting soon, or did they just end? They're starting soon. Someone's also doing Super Animal Royale. Let's see, how long have they been going for? Sometimes it's a little tough to tell. Oh, only 24 minutes. I think we said someone's about to get started here. Let's send you into Labraderp. They are just about to get started. Well, everyone, thanks for stopping in. I hope you all enjoyed this. It was a cool time. Happy I got to show you all some cool effects pedals. We're gonna go on and raid Labraderp. They are about to do some old school RuneScape. So yeah, send the love on in there. Donate to Papa Barks if you can. And I will see you when I see you. I'm gonna have my schedule coming out, I don't know, in a few days. But we got more Papa Barks stuff that's happening, so it'll be fun. It'll be fun in store. Still have the loops going. But thanks for stopping by. Hope you all enjoyed it. Have a good rest of your weekend. See you around.